to jump back on because I'm really excited about the dissection class that I'm taking April 24th and 25th with Tom. Just tell us a little bit about what people can expect, because I think that this is a dream to be able to do this online.
Okay, yes, it is. We have not been able to do this online until COVID got the donor program to look at that and approve it, where it hasn't been. So we've been doing live dissection classes for a number of years. Certainly the last 10 years, we've been doing a lot of them. And with Todd Garcia at the Laboratories of Anatomical Enlightenment in Boulder, we certainly welcome you to those classes. We're starting again in early 2022. But meanwhile, as Diane said, we have 2-day and 4-day classes coming up there. The 4-day is a tour of the whole body. I think the next one's coming up in June. I don't know.
Oh, really?
But the 2-day that we're doing, that you signed up for, Diane, is going to examine all the muscles and joints. We're not going to go into the organs. We're not going to go into the nervous system, but shoulder, elbow, wrist, hip, knee, and ankle. We're going to go, and you would be surprised how much the skin is involved in the joints. So we're going to start from the skin and seeing the kind of adhesions and holding that can be under the skin before you even get to the sleeve of fascia around the muscles, and then the muscles themselves, and then the tendons and ligaments and into the joint spaces. So that's a specialty course. We're having really a lot of fun doing these specialty courses. So this is the first one that we're really focusing on the limb joints. And we'll have other specialty courses for cranial people or visceral people that massage therapists may like to sign up for. The thing that is unique about these courses is that we're using untreated donors. So lots of people are doing wonderful things. My friend Gil Headley is doing
Gil Headley.
Great stuff on dissection on the internet. And I would recommend both his and ours because they're two different animals. But I love Gil and what he's doing. What we're doing is a little more formal. Todd does the dissection. I'm doing the color commentary like some football commentator, applying it to body work and movement therapies as we go through. And that has just been such a revelation that this is stuff that you cannot get. Even if you can get to a dissection class, very often the dissection's been done for you, and you're just seeing a bunch of labels.
Oh, wow.
And that is not the way. You're going to start from the skin and unfold this thing in real time. Again, we're going to be focusing on the joints. In the next one, we do a tour of all of the body, including the lines and things like that as we go through the whole body one. But the donor, the cadaver, moves completely naturally because it hasn't been fixed with formaldehyde.
Oh, wow.
Natural colors to it because it hasn't been fixed by formaldehyde. The person passed, the person was part of this donor program, and as long as they pass the test of having no infectious diseases or anything like that that would require that they be either cremated or embalmed, they are not embalmed, they are simply frozen. And
wow.
They come to us, and I'm sorry, like a frozen pea, we unfreeze the cadaver, and then we do the dissection on it. So it's as close to inside a living body as we can get without doing vivisection, which thank goodness is not allowed.
But I would think
those are the unique things about this particular venture into dissection that we're doing now. And of course, we have a big focus on the fascial system, on injury repair, on scar tissue, on adhesions, on the kinds of things that are happening in the fascial tissue that would reflect into manual therapy practice or movement practice.
And would you agree? I would think that seeing these live dissections totally changes your view of the human body.
That's the common thing that we get again and again and again in the feedback is it's not, oh, I learned where the sternocleidomastoid went. It's, oh my God, everything is so hooked up. That sternocleidomastoid and the internal jugular vein and carotid artery are in such relationship that every time I'm doing this kind of standard thing of wiping the sternocleidomastoid back on the neck, I'm changing blood pressure. I'm changing how the vagus nerve is working through the neck. There's just all kinds of relationships that make so much sense, that, oh, that's why that affected that woman's periods, or that's why that affected that person's constipation, or something like that. Things
Right.
and you start to see how they really are hooked up.
How many times have you been in the room for a dissection, would you say, at this point?
Well, it's something like 300 donors. When we have a big class, I'm talking about when we have a big class in the, when we do these classes, we're only using usually 1 or perhaps 2 donors to do the class. But if you're in class, then there is a donor for every 8 people, and you're actually doing the work yourself. And so we might have 6 or possibly even 8 donors in the room at a time. So I've participated, I haven't done the entire dissection, but I've participated with something like 250 people, which is a small number for an anatomist if you're talking about Netter or Clementi or any of the books that we use. But I've seen a lot of anomalies. I understand how different people can be as much as they are the same. That's it.
Are you doing those live again, or what? How does that work?
Yeah, we're doing those live. I think the next one is in June. The one that you're talking about is a 2-day in April. We do 2-day specialty classes. We just did one that exposed what I call the deep front line and then went into the nervous system. This next one we're doing is with joints. We might do a 2-day course just on breath. We're just kind of following what people request and how we can do it best.
This is amazing. I'm very excited about this. You'll be seeing me April 24th for sure, and you might even see me in June, because I think seeing it and then seeing beneath the skin will give me an entirely different view on everything I ever thought I knew.
Well, just to give an example, is every anatomy atlas I've ever looked at shows you the veins and arteries floating through the body. When you get in there, you realize, oh, this femoral artery is tied right into the quadriceps and tied right into the adductor longus. And oh, when I change the adductor longus, I'm going to change the blood flow to the leg, or could. And so those relationships, you start seeing, oh, yeah, those were very simplified, idealized drawings in my anatomy book. And the reality is what my hands encounter, right? You don't encounter what's in the book. You encounter the reality under your hands. And this will just give you such a, I've just been very glad that we've been able to do this. It's not, you have to put up with my commentary, but you get Todd's incredible skill in dissection, and you get a real look at what a real human being is, not the idealization. I am losing my battery, Diane. I got to sign off because I'm gonna